McConnell himself.
Well, we're told that the Betway Premiership Trophy is a uniquely, proudly South African collaboration of creatives, and the concepts that Nelson Makamo has gone for revolves around celebration. His idea was to celebrate the heritage of football in this country, and not only honor the current generation of players, those that hope to lift it, but also as a little salute to the ones that have come before. All ties in with the slogan that we've seen emblazoned across billboards this season. Gazini. Nelson himself, long-running relationship with football, even his name, in homage to Nelson Teenage Gladler. So he calls this trophy a love letter to football. And finally we see it. A new top-flight trophy for South African football. The Betway Premiership Trophy. No side has ever got their hands on this before. Mamelodi Sundowns will become the first.
It looks a masterpiece.
Every single team that has won it previously is recognized on the base of the trophy. Every team that has clinched the top flight title in the PSL era, starting with Manning Rangers almost 30 years ago now, 1996-97. Mamelodi Sundowns did it 3 times in a row. SuperSport would go on to emulate them, but the run that they're on currently is unprecedented and beyond what anyone could possibly have imagined prior to 2013.
Very extraordinary dominance there. Started with Pitso Mosimane. Built what we call a base to the success. And coaches after him have continued on that way. It's a Sundowns that has dominated, I think it's fair to say, in the past decade.
I'm sure in the coming days we will be furnished with an explanation as to some of the intricacies of the trophy and what they mean, because there's a lot of meaning behind it. The artist and his collaborators have always stressed their points. Motsepe embracing Flemingberg, who is standing alongside all of those who keep this Mamelodi Sundowns machine grinding on. Guard of Honor is informed by the second assistant, Pedro Azevedo, and João Aranha, third assistant, Satiso Dube, strength and conditioning and sports science, Tami Kuzwa is the team manager, Kahiso Marumo, team liaison officer, Khalid Ali sorts out all their travel and logistics. We have the likes of head of performance, who's been there for 15 seasons, Nadia Masha, another team analysis. He's hit a decade at Mamelodi Sundowns, 9 medals he's won along the way. Paul Lamb is in a shot currently. Sama is another team analysis. Team doctor, Kautabane, 15 seasons he spent with Mamelodi Sundowns. Dr. Paul Mapoto, another 15 seasons for him, the other team doctor. Sakunzi Wevela, physiotherapist, a remarkable 18 seasons with the club. Godfrey Sapuru, physiotherapist. Stuart McGregor is a biokineticist, 18 seasons for him. He's assisted by Tato Santos, the biokineticist, and Masur Kunzeni Basi and Theo Sokanyele. Both keep the players limber, Team Masur's. Freddie Zungu has been with the club for 35 seasons. He's won 15, or been seen 15 medals won, 15 trophies won over his time. Kit manager, wow, remarkable. Tata Mashego assists him with kicks as well as Sonny Lito and Sikaba Putani. They're all in attendance here. They won't be getting medals, but they've been recognized by those that will wear the medals as having helped them along the way, helped them on this journey to the title. And they are warmly congratulated by the playing personnel.
Yeah, I think this is just awesome. What a great gesture, and the fans will have an opportunity to see the magnitude and the size of the technical side of Mamelodi Sundowns, and the gratitude is being shown and acknowledgement is shown to everybody that lends a hand, from the groundsman to the kit manager to the security detail to the fitness to the enlarged technical side of Sundowns. And I think the capabilities of everybody just to keep this bunch of stars, bunch of egos, bunch of talented individuals to pull together in one direction, and this is a result of all of that success at the end of the day. They say the league is a true reflection of the ability and the consistency throughout will see them as champions.
Tiwani, junior national team duty, comes out to receive his medal on crutches. You mentioned something, Stanton, and yes, when you have a talented bunch, when you have some players who are ostensibly geniuses on the pitch, they will have their egos, they will have their quirks. It's natural, it comes with special human beings. So managing that can be a tricky dynamic, but clearly it's something that they are doing expertly at this club.
We see some of the names here that have recently not seen a bit of action there due to injury. Keegan Johannes being one of them, and there's just so much depth in this side. You don't want to be that coaching staff when you select a team.
Yeah.
And just to share a bit of how you manage that is that when I played under Ted Dimitri, which won the league with Mamelodi Sundowns, he would always emphasize and focus and give attention to the players that are not playing instead of the starting 11.
Well, here is a player who, for a long period this season, was not playing. A horrible Achilles tendon injury that kept him out, but he said he was determined to come back before the conclusion of the season. That's precisely what he's done. He's even managed to get minutes in the CAF Champions League, and was on the cusp of a start this past week. If not for the pitch, he very well would have been part of the 11.
Yeah.
And so he's the last out, the skipper.
I actually watched his performance against Stellenbosch when he came on, and when you're recovering from such a major injury, there's always a side where you can see even the jog, there's a bit of a limp, there's a bit of compensation, but you can see that he's running comfortably. He has not taken any shortcuts with the recovery process, and it requires a lot of discipline, a lot of mental application. It is the most difficult part of a footballer when you are injured and you are alone. So kudos to that man. And you can see he's still a leader in this bunch.
Now behind Dennis Onyango is most decorated players in South African football, and he will take the trophy over to his teammates. They prepare to lift it for the 15th time in the PSL era. They did it under Ted Dimitri for the first time in 1997-98, defended it the following campaign. One under Paul Dolizar, Miguel Gamondi and Neil Toby combination, Gordon Egerson, Pizza Mosamani with 5 league titles. Mangobo Muti and Renani Mokoena led them to a couple, then Mokoena on his own. Now, under Miguel Cardoso, they left it again. Mamelodi Sundowns, premiership champions. What an unbelievable season it has been, as they win it for the 8th time in succession. They were pushing almost all the way, and they handled the pressure and the stress as they competed on multiple fronts. Changed their coach in November to good effect, and they have set records along the way. 24 wins from 28 games. That's a new record, 24 wins, despite the fact that they've played 6 games fewer than in the earlier iterations of the league in the PSL era. This is a special team. It's hard to compare across eras, but a truly, truly special group. Mamelodi Sundowns, champions again. Well, they have the cream of the crop from Southern Africa. They have a sprinkling of South American magicians. It is a well put together team. There's a lot of thought that obviously goes into the transfers, bankrolls by the Motsepe family. Kloppy in your shot now, who's taken over from his father, and success has continued.
Yeah, continued success indeed. I'll tell you what, that trophy does look very heavy, as Coach Cardoso has been sprayed with the champagne in celebration of the champions, befitting that Mshishi lifts the first ever Betway premiership.
And that he lifts it uninhibited by injuries, that he hasn't had to come out on crutches, that he's worked so hard, even in his mid-30s, to make a comeback from an injury that really is amongst the most devastating you can suffer as a professional sportsman.
They want a well-balanced side.
Yeah.
Normally when you plan, you need 2 players in each position. There's more than that, and the quality replaces the quality.
They have won this title 10 times over the last 12 seasons. Remember that period first started with Peter Mosamani in 2013-14, put an end to what was a long drought, a 7-year wait for the title at that point. And the next season, it was Kaizer Chiefs under Stuart Baxter. They reclaimed it under Peter Mosamani 2015-16. 2016-17 went to Best Wits and Gavin Hunt, but since then, it has been all Mamelodi Sundowns.
Everybody will take an opportunity now to wear that trophy. I'm sure that's a non-alcoholic champagne, because Coach Cardoso did mention that they will not party, they will celebrate. And knowing that in a week's time, that's the first leg of the Champions League.
This is exactly the kind of momentum that they need heading into that continental showpiece. They are peerless within our own borders. One of the very, very finest on this great continent. That second star beckons. But for now, just for a brief moment, they can revel in their Betway premiership success. Every player taking an opportunity now to have their individual moments with the trophy. We'll try and grab some individual moments with some of these players. Right now, of course, the whole focus is on celebrating their most recent accomplishments, but we'd love to hear their thoughts on it. Another record-breaking season just in terms of goals, and man, they absolutely smashed their goals records. 65 scored to eclipse the 56 that they managed back in 2021-22. That's of course referring to 30-game seasons in the PSL era. The best goal difference ever, plus 52 goal difference, which eclipses their record from last season of plus 41.
Yeah, you just... Mabena,
Yeah, glad to see him.
Wait to see him again.
See him more next season. Lazi's got someone for us. Let's hear from him.
Thank you very much to our commentary team. Indeed, I do have someone standing next to me. That is Ikram Reyners, who unfortunately fell 2 goals short of his teammate as far as the goal scoring gong is concerned. And I decided to bring you in because you had your chances, particularly those first 20 minutes, to go ahead of Ribeiro. In the end, 14 goals for you. If you were to reflect on the season, how would you say?
For me, I think I had a good season with Mamelodi Sundowns, good players. They did always support me, technical team, the staff. So for me, I'm happy to be here. And for me also as a player, it's not about me alone, it's about the team. So whatever happened at the end of the day, and I'm happy.
Yeah, we've counted 10 assists that you've provided this season as well as a Mamelodi Sundowns player. In joining this team, what have they taught you in terms of just your personal growth as a footballer?
For me, it was all about taking my opportunity, because I know there's lots of players that's waiting also to get opportunity. So for me, week in, week out, it was all about getting on the score sheet and do my best to help the team win games.
Particularly in this last stretch of the season where you scored about 5 goals in 5 games before today. Was there a shift in mentality as far as you're concerned?
No, it was for me, it was all about build up. My mentality was there. And for me, it was always helping the team, getting like goals and assists. I was never thinking about myself. I always think about the team first. And I'm happy for Lucas because he deserves it. Last season, I think he was also same amount of goals. And I think he got injured. So this season, I'm happy for him. He got it. At least someone of our team getting it this season.
First of many, I'm assuming, as far as league titles are concerned, during your time here at Mamelodi Sundowns. That front line, yourself, Ribeiro, you've got players like Arturo Sales as well, you've got players like Tash, your fellow forwards. What makes it so special to play with them? A record number of goals you guys have scored. You guys have got 3 players from one team finishing as the top 3 goal scorers. Something special going on there.
I think it was a special moment. We always help each other. We started training, so we're building up to take it into the games, and it helped us a lot. And I'm happy for my guys that played with me in front. I'm there to help them, support them. We always support each other, even in difficult moments. Yeah, I'm happy.
One more game. Well, 2 more games actually. One more here. That's next weekend.
For me, I just want to tell the supporters, come out in numbers, be behind the boys. We'll do our best next week, and I think it will be ours.
More celebrations. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations. That is Ikram Reyners. A wonderful, wonderful season he's had. His first as the Mamelodi Sundowns. Here's another man who's just enjoyed his first domestic season in the colours of Mamelodi Sundowns. Tash, congratulations yet again. Looking really good as far as that blink is concerned. I want to ask you firstly, that trophy was the first time everyone was seeing it. What did you think?
It's quite heavy. But surprisingly, it's nice, but very heavy, and just happy to lift it that minute.
Take us back to when you joined the team. As far as the mentality was concerned, What was it different? What was different with this Mamelodi Sundowns team?
There's the winning mentality. I mean, everyone wants to win, everyone wants to have that winning mentality, but here it's a culture to always win and continue and to keep that going, to keep that winning going for years and years.
The coaching staff have spoken quite largely over the last 2 weeks or so about the core values within Mamelodi Sundowns. From a player's perspective, what does that mean to you?
You know, we as players, we keep each other together. Lots of brotherhood, trust in each other. And it comes, the coaches also, they came this season and, you know, they also just got onto it, and that's what keeps us going.
Before I let you go, on a personal note, how would you reflect on the season you've had?
For me, I think it was good. I just had an injury that kept me out for a few months. But other than that, fantastic. Could have done better in some places, but very happy. I'm a champion today.
Now, for a lot of people, this is one part of the celebration, because in the next 2 weeks you could be having yet another if you win the CAF Champions League final. As a team, how are you guys reflecting on this period now leading to that first leg?
Well, this is a moment to celebrate. We won the league, and I think just after this, we're just going to focus on what's ahead of us, the next game. Focus on that, but as for today, like the coach said, told us in the chat, we have to celebrate this moment.
Go on and celebrate with your teammates. Thank you so much for your time. That is Patrick Matthews, also reflecting on his own personal season so far. I do understand that Jeff Modise has got a couple of Sundowns fans and players as well. Donna?
You can go. Congratulations, Mpetu. Can you please tell us how was the season for you, especially how the team started?
Yeah, I think every season is always difficult. You know, in the beginning, we're trying to find one another, and we had so many new players, and we're trying to gel. But towards the end, we really finished really strong, and everyone came to the party.
And then with the coach that also coming early in the year, what is it that he has brought into Mamelodi Sundowns, especially knowing that the team struggled in the beginning?
He didn't change much, to be quite honest. He just told us we need to play how we've been playing a season before, and he made sure that he brought the confidence back, and I think that's what brought us through.
And then for you, how then do you sum up the season for yourself?
I think for me it could have been better, but I like the way I finished. You know, I didn't get many chances in the beginning, but towards the end, you know, Sundowns played so many games, and everyone is needed. And when my time came, I stepped up.
Now, we know that Mamelodi Sundowns every season we speak about the Champions League. Now there is a big game coming up after this celebration. What's the mentality like in the team?
It's always been one game at a time. We focus on this game, and after this, definitely the focus is going to be on Champions League. So we're not trying to play games ahead. We're trying to play every game that counts. We fully focus on it, and now after this celebration, we focus fully on Champions League.
Congratulations once again, Jeff.
Thank you very much. Now, family members joining the victorious players out on the park. Just soaking up this moment. Everyone getting a chance with the trophy. And unsurprisingly, Mamelodi Sundowns fans, a huge contingent of them, have remained behind. We've got another great interview for you. Let's go back pitch side.
Now we have Dennis Onyango, the most decorated footballer with so many league titles. How does this one feel for you?
This is special. Why? Because it completes the year. It's from January to December. That's 12 league titles. Every month has its own trophy. So this was special for me.
And then for the team this year, looking at how then the team started, looking at how the team finished, what's your season like, and what is the feeling like within the dressing room itself?
Well, when we started, everyone doubted us because we had a few challenges when Coach Rani left. Coach Manwaba took over, and we stumbled a little bit. We won games, and then Coach Cardoso came through. But the mentality stayed with the players, and the will was there to win the games because we knew the targets regardless of the changes. So for me, kudos to the guys. They did a fantastic job.
So now with the coach just coming in, especially in January, the steam started picking up. What was the mood like? What is it that he brought different?
I think he tried to motivate the players and ignite more energy in the game, because we were down a little bit, but when he came, he said we must play with a lot of energy every game and we must give everything we have for the club to be where it's supposed to be.
And with you being a senior player within the team itself, what is it that you're doing for you to keep the guys keeping going with that hunger as well, knowing that as well next week there is a Champions League final that has been eluding Sundowns for so many years?
It's been me, Shishi, Tebza, Ronwen, the senior players, Musa, Grant. We've been lifting the young ones because we knew that it's not going to be easy. Everyone didn't want us to win the 8th league title in a row. But it was our responsibility to pass on the message that's come from the management, because the management has its own targets, and the targets are to win the league, keep winning, and that's the message that we kept preaching for the boys.
So now, what's your message now to the fans, knowing that next week it is a big one?
Fantastic. They came in numbers. They've been with us the whole season, through thick and thin, regardless of the changes. They supported the boys. But we need them more than any time, because we know the big one is coming on the weekend. Against Pyramid, we need them to come and fill up Loftus Versfield, and we want to win the Champions League. We want the second star.
That's it. Congratulations again. Once again, the most decorated player, the goalkeeper, Telly Sonyang.
Turned 40 this past week. Dennis Onyanga, oldest player in the division. And we'll have more interviews like that, or perhaps just a little bit of a wrap-up of what we've seen today after this break. Don't go anywhere.
But it's finally here. Donna, let me start with you. Your thoughts on that wonderful work done by Nelson Magam?
It is a beautiful trophy. Of course, it's the first time seeing it, so we haven't really maybe accustomed to it. But of course, it's been a long time coming. There's a lot of questions regarding us today. When are we going to see the trophy? I mean, it's been happening. For the fact that it was revealed here for Mamelodi Sundowns in the last game for them to win the trophy, I think it is a beautiful trophy. Of course, there is a talking point, which we'll be engaging with throughout the week. But nonetheless, Mamelodi Sundowns again, being the champion, crowned the champion again with the victory tonight. I think it was important.
One thing that stood out as far as Coach Cardoso is concerned, particularly with the post-match interview I had with him, he says that he had asked his team to be as professional as possible in playing their last game, despite the fact that they already wrapped up the league. And I feel you did see exactly that today.
And it's so important, because you can't rest on your laurels. You can't have an underpar performance, especially in a week's time when you're going to be tested at a different level. The PSL and the Betway Premiership is this level, Teko. You know better than anybody. If you play Champions League, it comes down to minute details, and if you're not switched on consistently, if you are not playing at an intensity that's going to require you to be at next week, it becomes a problem. And I'm sure the coach would have been lambasting and highlighting that, and that's exactly what we've seen and witnessed from Mamelodi Sundowns. Very patient in the build-up. What I love about them, Teko, is that when you get to the third, the attacking third, there's a change of pace, there's a movement that's understanding, there's cohesion. Nothing is by luck, nothing is off the cuff. It is all premeditated, and that is why they see themselves as champions this evening.
Yeah, and also it helps as well when you have such quality players. It's also, you can see the freedom of movement that's been given to the players up front to be able to make those interchanges, because now you're playing against a team that has a block. For you to remove that block, you need to have those type of movements. And as well, that you can see also with the synergy within the front four, the front three. It's been coming and it's been happening within the league itself. It helps that you have so many goal scorers, and also that brotherhood that the team has. I mean, regardless of who becomes the top goal scorer of the season. But it's just that understanding that the team comes first, and it's important what Coach Cardoso said, speaking about the professionalism that is needed on this game. Because you need to have good habits all the time. Every game needs to be played like it is a final, and that's exactly what Mamelodi Sundowns has shown.
Now, what you are having a look at is the fact that all three of Sundowns' top scorers this season in the league had chances today, and that, again, that's just a signal of how good they are in that attacking threat, but they don't come better than this man.
And Lwazi, you have to defend as well as you attack. And that brings me to what Grant Bissett said in commentary, is that they have not conceded from a set play the entire season. And that shows that you have a set play coach. And that is coming to the fruition to see the quality of defensively.
Yeah.
And today, just look at the free kick that they scored. That is work done from the set play coach, and that is starting to pay them back, So it is not only the players, it is not only the head coach, it's everybody that comes together, and you have this winning formula, and it's a machine that currently seems very unstoppable.
Speaking of a machine that is unstoppable, as you see the final numbers of the game, that shot on target has to be highlighted because it came right at the death of the game for the majority of the game. Magesi didn't really show himself to be an attacking force, and I guess the question then has to be, were they not allowed to be an attacking force today, or do you just feel as if they didn't come here thinking they could win?
I think they came here, thinking that, the longer the game goes, and maybe they do stand a chance. But within that itself, you need to still create opportunities. And the whole first half of the Jason showed us. In the second half, with all this type of changes, you could see them stringing a little bit of passes going up front. But you can't do that in the second half. You had to start the game like that. But also, maybe it's unfair as well to ask so much from Magesi, whatever Mamelodi Sundowns, the quality that they have as well, coming back from home without losing a game.
At 73 points, matching last season from a Sundowns perspective. However, we have to highlight that it happened in less games. Yet again, record-breaking Mamelodi Sundowns from start to finish.
In 28 games, that is just astounding, and just look at Magesi there. Still looking for that 1 point which mathematically will give them safety. But at the same time, we just once again to mention what Sundowns has done. Those goals, the goal difference, the patient build-ups, the patience when winning, when they go forward in a game, when they score the first goal. Like, that experience that you use on the continent is brought to the Betway Premiership, and I think that is why they find themselves 8 times in a row. I actually have to pinch myself every time I say this. 8 times in a row. Champions.
And we have to also highlight that if we remember correctly, they were the last to win the ABSA Premiership. They were the only team to win the DSTV Premiership, and they start the Betway Premiership with the title.
Yeah, as much as those as well, we can see and speak of the dominance of Mamelodi Sundowns. But at times, because we have so many quality players within the team, we forget that there's a lot of hard work that needs to go into it for you to stay consistent and stay dominant. And with every coach that has been within the team itself, all of them that have won the trophy, all of them that have won the league. So there is pressure from the Sundowns coaches, technical team, the players as well, to keep going and to try and reach a new height. And for them to actually do it in this style, of course, there's expectation again for next season to actually, are they capable of doing it again? And I think that's the conversation that always is happening within the Sundowns structure as well. But to be able to be dominant within this space, I mean, it's remarkable. 8 times in a row. I mean, it's remarkable, especially in the South African shows.
It really is absolutely remarkable for Mamelodi Sundowns, champions of the Betway Premiership. And again, as a prize, they got to lift the very first Betway Premiership trophy. Here's Nelson Magamo, the designer, explaining from start to finish exactly how it is that he brought us this masterpiece.
Where's the trophy? How far is the trophy? What's going on with the trophy? So it became a common question from people by the room of Atseba to people that don't know. Wanted to achieve something unique, but also something that is us. We are quite a collective country. I think that was the thinking behind, creating something that would reflect and show who we are. There's a tree, and that tree symbolizes South Africa. That's the first thing that we incorporated that is outside football. The tree defines the roots, how the league started. I looked at celebration in soccer, and I thought the trophy is victory, the celebration. I wanted to capture that because I think any team ever champion, it brings the spirit of celebration. Gold, there's a lot of players that their fathers or their grandfathers never would mind it. We have a lot of things in South Africa that we can use as a symbol of who we are. The trophy is one of many things that is there to inspire to the current and the future soccer stars that now you have something to play for.
That's the Betway Premiership Trophy, an entire season in the making, and wonderful to hear from Nelson exactly what inspired it. Truly South African masterpiece.
Wow, it all makes sense now. I think it is just so befitting that an artist with an artistic brain, has footballing roots. He was named after Nelson Timesh Dada, and he's gone on to create his own legacy, and at the same time coming back. And I think the fact that it's a tree and the roots, I think that symbolism I think that just does everything for us. And the anticipation and the build-up from the sponsors, Betway, Premiership, and whilst we're standing here, we're standing next to another artist of a different nature, and I'm sure he can appreciate it.
And you rightly
Okay, well, these two admire each other. Let's have a look at what the results have looked like this weekend. The penultimate weekend, of course, in the Betway Premiership, Mamelodi Sundowns, they had a go against Magesi and won yet again at home. 14 matches from 14 have ended in a W for the champions. We are going to be at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium on a Tuesday as SuperSport United as well as Orlando Pirates have a go at each other. And then it's the final day next weekend, gentlemen. We've waited for this one for quite some time. Deco, Amazulu, Orlando Pirates, Cape Town City, Stellenbosch, Arrows at home against Sekhukhune, Chiefs, Polokwane City, Magesi, Gallants, SuperSport United, Richards Bay.
Oh, and if you look at those ones, Magesi, Gallants, SuperSport, Richards Bay, I think that's where the interest will be, because now the league is gone. We all have confirmed the champions. I think now the conversation is about who then will be able to survive that playoff, who then doesn't get relegated. So it'll be very interesting to see as to then what happens in the last day.
Cape Town City, can they do a great escape? It's still possible mathematically. And then Kaizer Chiefs searching for that top 8 position, which is going away to Polokwane. At home to Polokwane. So we're hoping that for their sake, they can continue where they left off in the cup.
Deco, Stiga, gentlemen, your time always appreciated. Thank you as well for lending us your attention throughout the course of the afternoon and evening. We were confirming what we've known for a couple of days now, that Mamelodi Sundowns are deserving champions of South African football. They are the inaugural champions of the